can Yuji defeat all of the disaster curses at the same time? Well, let's prove it. Dogon, just like the others, unlocked a lethal domain expansion that nearly massacred Naobito, Nanami, and Maki. The only two ways to counter domains are to cast your own or use an anti-barrier technique. So my man Yuji unlocked a simple domain from the very best. Using Uiu's soul transfer technique, Yuji first swapped with Kusakabe to learn simple domain and also improved his curse energy control. This technique gives our MC the ability to negate the sure hit effect of any domain and increase your curse energy output whilst weakening any incoming attacks at the same time. But this is where things get crazy, people. Yuji's simple domain would be enough to destroy all the disaster curses expansions with ease. How do we know that? Well, in chapter 258, Sukuna activates a domain expansion with full power and refinement equal to what he did against Satoru Gojo's unlimited void. They are equal, so their sure hit effects cancelled each other out. Essentially, Sukuna's black flashes resulted in no loss in output or range for his domain. But even so, when Yuji used this ability, he managed to tank Sukuna's malevolent shrine for a minute, proving that his simple domain is scaling way higher than you think. In fact, in chapter 206, another special grade sorcerer, Yuki, claims that Kenjaku's barrier is so strong that it completely ripped her simple domain apart instantly, and Kenjaku's barrier doesn't compare in output to Sukuna's full power at all. For example, since it's equal to Gojo's unlimited void, the evidence is with Gojo facing Jogo's domain. It completely overpowered it, and he instantly lost the battle that gave Jogo PTSD. This later played an effect in Jogo's battle against Sukuna, as he knew that the king's domain would be too strong for him to win a battle. So he doesn't bother to cast the Coffin of the Iron Mountain. So Yuji unlocking his domain expansion basically means the disaster curses would be shivering and acknowledging him as a king, bowing down to their knees, bruh. This is clear proof that Yuji's power level would be too high, and that's insane considering Yuki is someone who killed a special grade cursed spirit deity in one attack with Garuda, whilst Mei Mei was in a similar position in Shibuya where it almost cost her life to kill such an opponent. Sukuna himself attested that during the 1 month time skip, every sorcerer had upgraded their curse energy refinement to such a large extent that it shocked him, as their defenses are tight, which means Yuji had leveled up again. This is besides the fact that Kusakabe confirmed Yuji has developed excellent learning speed and Jujutsu understanding because of Sukuna's presence that was inside him, which meant his body remembers using extreme special grade Jujutsu. Thus, Yuji can easily withstand the onslaught of the disaster curse domain expansions if they decide to use it. But I'm not done increasing Yuji's strength, because even if any attacks land on him, he's learned reverse curse technique, as the second person Yuji swapped with was Yuta, who taught him. Yuji's level of it is frightening, as he has healed from massive injuries from Sukuna 4 times over that would make others die instantly each time. However, Yuji is capable of regenerating limbs in an instant, which Ryu claimed was one hell of a feat for a sorcerer to even achieve. On top of that, he has another benefit. Choso brings up the fact that they are special. Since Yuji devoured his siblings, his body's usage of reverse curse technique will change dramatically. Choso explains that once Yuji becomes like a curse object, he will be able to use RCT without depending on its immense energy requirement. The main reason why many sorcerers can't create positive energy is because of the huge toll it takes on their reserves. But Yuji overcomes this hurdle. And speaking of which, he has a second curse technique, blood manipulation. He trained it with Choso and Kamo, which allowed him to explode blood on Sukuna's face and shoot a point-blank piercing blood. Whilst Choso's version of it was like an ant bite for Kenjaku, since his power level is way below, he stated that the speed and power of that attack won't hurt him. But the same attack in Yuji's hands is so powerful that it managed to hurt Sukuna. This This is taken even further when we remember that Gojo praised Sukuna's skill using the same piercing blood, where he used maximum elephant, which required skill on Gojo's level. So since Urame said that Yuji has the same potential as Sukuna, he can achieve the same level of finesse in time, matching the strongest and even surpassing them. So Dogon's Shikigami, Mahito's puppets, Jogo's buzzing bees, and Hanami's branches don't really matter. Yuji can spam RCT to continue their battle. Now when Jogo asks Kenjaku, how many fingers does he scale to Sukuna? He said 8 or 9 if being generous. But when the time came, he did not expect the gap to be so wide against 15 fingers and could not land a single attack. Now keep in mind, Jogo said his maximum meteor was capable of hurting Sukuna and would do significant damage if it hit, and the other sorcerers attest that he's on a different level to Dogon. However, Kenjaku confirmed that Mahito had surpassed Jogo because of his evolution. He had expected Jogo to have a similar transformation, meaning he didn't reach his full potential. In fact, maximum meteor isn't even worth mentioning since it's only good for attacking slow targets. It's so slow that even Kusakabe and Panda could dodge it despite running at the last second. So it doesn't stand a chance when Yuji's speed matches the king. He outmaneuvered Sukuna in physical combat in his awakened state. This remarkable performance indicated that he had reached special grade status, which led to even Sukuna admitting that Yuji remained unfazed by his slashes and punches after the time skip. He ends up growing frustrated that Yuji is trying to match his power level, and then admits he could be defeated after being hit by Soul Dismantle. So even if we look at the past, Gege himself stated that if Jogo took on 5 black flashes from Yuji, he would have instantly died. The only reason Hanami survived is because of its durability, which Jogo does not have, which means at this point, Yuji can literally solo all the disaster curses with no challenge, and if it was all at the same time, it would be a mid-diff victory, putting in more effort than, let's say, what Gojo did against them at Shibuya. Now to enjoy more peak fiction, why not find out about Rimuru wife, as it's Ciel. Who is this person? He married the person that he created himself?